Welcome back to Onyx Innovative. So real quick, just want to go over this new philosophy that I heard while in my second week of the AAA Accelerator program. Now I heard it from a different program. I heard it from MakeMoneyWithMake.com, and essentially it's a concept for applying business AI automations. So what you do is you go to an industry, right? I'm gonna do an industry that I kind of know relatively well. So let's say we're doing videography. Okay, so you in business there are certain phases, right? It's essentially three things. You have to get people that you're selling to. You have to get them. Once you get them, you then have to deliver a service to them. You then have to sell them, and then you have to deliver a service to them at the end, right? It's like finding people to sell to, sell, and then deliver. Those are like the principles. So you got like lead generation. That's finding people to sell to. You got product development, which is creating a product. And then product delivery. What he said, which was so cool on the call, man, I'm in maker school with Nick Seri, I believe his name is. It's great. So what he said is, in each AI industry, you have to go through these processes to find it. So once you go through these processes, you look at each individual step in the business, and that's how you figure out where to target. Now, I already kind of knew the concept, but the way he applied it was brilliant. So let's say for lead generation. So what tools could you use for lead generation? You can use Apollo. You can use Instantly. That's, you can use email. So what automations could you do with email? You can automate using Apollo the collection of the leads. You can automate with Instantly the delivery of the cold outreach. All right. Also, when you get into finding leads, you can also utilize scrapers scrapers using webhooks and like mate.com. Okay. And then so they got the Apollo, Instantly, Scraper. So those are three AI tools there. Wham bam. That's just lead generation. Now Apollo, I think, is an underrated tool. I think Apollo is going to be like one of the bigger tools. Now you have to get into verifications when you start talking about leads, because you have to verify the leads, verify the emails. So you have to use a different tool. That's not the specifics, but it's just the overall arching. So if I'm a videographer, videographers, they generate, if I'm doing cold email, where would videographers go to find their leads? You got people shopping for weddings. You got people shopping for funerals. People typically want to give videos at funerals, weddings. You got birthday parties. So essentially, we're talking about events, right? So how can you automate a process to target people going to events that need a videographer? All right. So this is how I'm starting to break down, like this is how you use the automation. You got to incorporate into the business. Now, once again, I understood these concepts, but it's starting to really hit home, and I'm starting to apply it and see results. For example, we had a customer at my main client. Her target audience is basically vehicle registration, right? She registers, she's third party registered vehicle for the DMV. So what we did was essentially we say who needs to register their cars. People who buy buy used cars, right? Car buyers need to register their car, but not the new car buyers. Because if you bought a new car dealers usually have their own service. But if you have a used car and you bought it, they need to register their vehicles. Not just any used car, but she's in Illinois, so her neighboring cities need to register their car for Illinois buyers. They don't want to deal with the Secretary of State because it's like they got to go through the whole DMV system, so they go straight to her. So I figured out, oh, if we automate a process to find used car dealers, that's a process that we automated. We used our sales, we used Square actually to go through the people she's already worked with, find the old leads and rehash that. That's number one. That's an easy automation. We then used old school Google straight, found a stupid list of used car dealers in the nearby suburbs, took those used car dealers, put them in a lineup, called them. First call, bam, closed 16 sales. So now we closed it in a bulk price, so they're gonna get a discount, but nonetheless, 16 sales, bam. Now we have to automate the delivery, right? So you automate the email. You can, there's ways to automate the sale, but let's say the sale you humanize. All right, so you keep the sale straight. And then now we're talking about delivery. So what in your delivery process could you use to deliver, right? If I'm going old school, because this is a blue collar, like a blue whitish collar, blue collar type business, how can we automate delivery? I can have info bots based on ChatGPT, LLMs, to take in the info that she's using to fill out these different forms, populate the forms, and she submit. So what takes an hour to do now takes 10 minutes. And so these are, when he explained it to me, like, go through each phase of the business, break down what is the phase of the business. How do you find it's business, it's automation, but it's greasing the wheels. So how do you find, what is your target customer, first of all? Go further up the chain, because whenever you buy something, there's a cycle. When you buy, you have a new problem. So go further up the chain. In order to have to register a vehicle, you have to buy a car. So if we go to the source of people who sell the cars, the used car dealers, we could find our target market. So that was just a cool concept that I broke down. Now this is a real raw video, but the concept is just crazy to me. Like, your lead generation, your sales process, even though you're kind of humanizing the sales process, I still set up all the leads using Apollo, and I organize them, and I use a scraper, right? So your sales process, your lead generation, you got your sales process. Now, how can you automate your delivery? Go through each one of your steps and figure it out. And that's what I'm doing for my clients, and it worked for us. But yeah, just wanted to get this just kind of off of the top video, rocking with it. Go team.